So today our questions are about how to measure things in the soil
And the forest.
that will tell you about the health of the forest.
With roots, of course, in the soil. And then we have layers in the soil. This one might be very dark brown or black. This one might be lighter, and this I'm going to call top soil.
You can do it even. That's perfect.
Subsoil.
No, yours is good.
Right? And one of the important things is how thick is the top. So one of the things we're going to measure is, right, how many centimeters? The only way to know when we finish the topsoil is we have to hit the subsoil, get a different color, right? So topsoil, subsoil. On top of all that, on top of the top, if we have trees, and they have leaves, right? And they can have all different shaped leaves, and the leaves fall down and they accumulate. We get leaves here and a whole lot of leaves. And a pile on top of the soil, and that's what we call leaf litter. Right, the leaves on the top of the soil. And that is really important in the forest. This leaf litter is really important. And one of the problems with earthworms, that's the next term, right? They eat the leaf litter, right? They eat too much of the leaf litter, right? And so causes a lot of trouble. Then new baby trees can't grow. And the type of tree we're looking at today is maple. So we're going to look at two sites. One of them has a lot of earthworms, and one of them has hardly any earthworms. And you're going to tell us, you're going to take measurements to see if you can see the difference in the soil, the topsoil, and the leaf litter, and between the two sites and the two different worms.
What does it mean when I say the beaver is native to Minnesota? It means the beaver has always lived here, right? Minnesota is a home for the beaver, okay? Non-native is the opposite. So an example of non-native to Minnesota is the earthworm, okay? So every earthworm that you see has been introduced here by humans. So many humans think that worms are good for the forest. In Minnesota, worms are very, very bad for the forest. But in Minnesota, we have a lot of fishing, so we have a lot of humans putting worms in the forest. At the end of the day, they're all finished fishing. They have all these worms, it's like, oh, alive worms. So they think that they're doing right, and they put their old worms in the forest. And that's very bad. So native is like the beaver, non-native is like the earthworm in Minnesota.
What do you see? Raise your hand and tell me, what did you see? Trees. What kind of trees? Many kinds, especially this kind. Maple. Right, this is the important kind today. Do you see the maple leaves? Anybody nearby, do you see maple?
Okay, this is site 1. So you have your sheet that says site 1, Lake Bemidji State Park. That is good, good. So it's a good forest, and Wendy pointed out the main kind of tree. What is this? Okay, so on your data sheet up at the top, write good forest, good maple forest.
So how is this leaf litter? Is there a lot of it? A little bit? Is thick, thin? Have a look. Go ahead and pick some up.
Mine.
Yeah. This is really important stuff right here. Yep. If you're going to be scientists, you have to touch it. Come on. Go ahead, Larry. Come on.
Yeah, perfect. Very good. Okay, fungi and earthworms eat this, and then they eat this, and then they eat this, and finally we have this, and this is soil, okay? So what we've just done is in a healthy, good forest, a good maple forest has leaves that fell this year, leaves from last year, leaves from 2 years ago, and very, very old.
Can you see down there? I'll show you what I'm getting up here. A little bit. So I'll walk around and show you. But we have, in the middle is the topsoil. Remember topsoil, subsoil? Remember on your list of words?
Okay.
Right? But there's something on top of the topsoil. Let's look and see. What is this? Do you know what this is?
No.
This is topsoil, right? Subsoil. Something else. This is really broken up leaves and tree parts that are so broken up we can't tell what it is anymore. But that's what it is. It's all broken up leaves and stuff. And we're going to measure. We have to find. So put the 0 on the bottom of the topsoil. You see where the bottom? Where does the topsoil end? Not here, right? Oh, that's too deep, right? So where should I put it? Right about there.
6.5.
6.5 centimeters. So on your site 1 sheet where it says depth of topsoil, there you go. You go right 6 point. Whoops, here's your pencil. 6.5 depth right there. 6.5.
Okay, so this stick represents the diameter of our circle.
Okay.
So you look at your stick and this is painted 10, 20, 30. So there's my circle that I'm studying. Okay, is there leaf litter here?
What do you think? Yes or no? Leaf litter underneath that? Yes. Okay, so check yes for 0.
At 10.
No, there's a little, there's a little spot with no. So maybe, okay.
Yeah, no, I see soil. I see
Okay,
soil
so
here.
for 10 is no, right? Okay. 20? Yes. Okay.
Within this circle, how many different types of plants do we have? One.
Only 2. Only 2.
Okay, let's look real closely.
Only 2.
Now everybody can kneel down and look, because there's more than 2. Kneel
Okay.
down, get close and look.
3.
Okay, and in addition to counting, I want you to sketch each type of leaf.
How's it going? Did you do your transect?
Yes, we did.
Did you do your, where's your circle? So what do we have to do in that circle? 3 things, right? One is you have to look and do the leaf cover, right? Yes or no. You look at at 0, 10, 20, right? Leaf cover yes, leaf cover no, right? That's one. Another one is you look in the circle and do plants, like we did before. How many types of plants, and draw pictures. And the third thing is with your trowel, right? With this you dig down and see how far you get before you get to subsoil, right? How deep to the color change? Dark, dark, dark. Oh, light. Stop there. And then you measure how many centimeters with your ruler. Okay? And we'll be around. You can ask questions, but you work with your own group for site 2, right? We're at site 2.
How about
60 what?
yes? 60 is yes. How about 70?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can measure in centimeters. How deep in centimeters? Where's the centimeters? Yeah, next to you for the plants, right? If it's in your circle.
One worm goes 3 feet deep. When he eats, he comes up to the surface and eats and pulls leaves into his burrow. A midden is the opening of his burrow with leaves standing up. So you can actually see here, and I'll point it out to you, you can find the earthworm holes because they're going to have leaves standing up in them. This is called midden. You carefully pick it up, the whole thing, and there actually is a wormhole in there. So this is one midden. And one way you look for them is you look for these cleared areas. So this one worm is coming out and pulling the leaves down into his hole, and then coming out, pulling a leaf down to his hole, coming out, and you end up with this cleared area around here. Yes, I tell you what, move, yeah, take your stick and move nearby and make another circle and count the number of middens or piles, little piles of leaves. This. Be careful where you step. Yeah, don't step inside your circle, just look. So again, you're looking for clear black with a pile in the middle.
Yes, not so. There, feel. Let's see if it feels the same. What do you think?
We have some little rocks.
Little rocks, yeah? And this is small, very small, so small you could just barely feel. All right, and lots of roots. All right, see how much you can get? Push down, yeah, that's good. We'll take that up, and then we can take it out. You see I have a different one here. See a different color, right? Not topsoil, right? Subsoil.
Subsoil.
Right, this is, here's topsoil, subsoil, yes. And you can push a little down, but you don't have to push too hard. You just have to turn.
Okay, what kind of forest were we in?
Potatoes. Maple forest.
Maple forest. We laid out the green stick and we asked the question, leaf litter, yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, in the good healthy forest, do we have leaf litter?
Yes.
Do we have it everywhere? Like I'm looking at your data sheets here. Okay, we did not have it every place. So we mainly had good leaf litter. Okay, in the unhealthy forest, so again, I'm looking at your data here, and it looks like in some places you did. And on average, you guys maybe had 2 places that had leaf litter, but it was like this. So predominantly in the poor forest, you have no leaf litter. Okay, we also measured topsoil.
Subsoil. 6.
Yep.
6.5.
Exactly. Let's see. Luke, Sam, and Larry measured 14 centimeters. Zach, Taylor, and Tony measured 9.5. So in general, in a good healthy maple forest, topsoil is less than in an unhealthy forest. Okay? What else did we do? Oh, we counted plant species. Okay, it looks like we have 6 species. And over here, we found 4 species. So again, what does that tell you about good, healthy forest? Do you expect to find more types of plants or less types of plants in a good, healthy forest? More. So you guys did. Very good. Okay, and now the last thing that we measured, this is a new word, I'm sure. Middens. Come on, Tony. Remember we were looking for middens.
Yeah.
And you were looking for an area where here's the soil is all clean, nothing on it, and you'd find a pile of poop
Yeah.
and leaves. Okay?
Yeah.
That is a midden. In the healthy forest, we found 0 middens. 0 middens because the soil surface, here you have your soil, your topsoil, and this was all covered with leaves. Right? Have leaf litter and topsoil. Over here we had lots of poop. Lots of poop and lots of little piles of leaves, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so next time you go into a maple forest, you'll be in Bemidji for another month, right? So when you're in a maple forest, look at the leaf litter and see if you have this or do you have this. Now, one of you had an excellent question when we went out and we saw more of this, and one of it, I think, was it Charles, I think, asked, what do we do about this? What do we do? Because this is very, very bad. The old maple trees that we have, the tall maple trees, will be our last maple trees. If the soil is like this in all of the maple forest, there will be no maple forest when you're my age. So the good question is, what can we do? And there's a simple answer. The worms have gotten into the forest from humans, from people.
Yeah.
Okay? How do we use worms? So we don't want to tell people not to play with worms, or not to feed the birds, or not to fish, or not to use compost. But what we do want to say is, like, this is all good. This is good stuff. Good, 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 good. But what is bad is when they're in the forest. So at the end of the day, when you're finished fishing, what do you do with your worm? You want to keep it in the garbage long enough for it to die. Keep the worms out of the forest. Because research has shown, some scientists have shown what happens to a very bad forest. Take all the worms out, protect it, and this will eventually start getting leaf litter. So the forest can heal. The forest can recover. It can get better. So an unhealthy forest can become a healthy forest if we say no more earthworms. Okay? You know the word reveals?
Censure.
Censure? Okay, research, censure.
Yeah.
Research, censure,
Yeah.
help, fix, solve. Research reveals the solution. So do you guys feel, like you're better prepared to go out there and find solutions to problems? Because you have a method to do that by. Sometimes the solutions are very simple, like keep the worms out of the woods.